So we all check film reviews before booking a ticket, before streaming something new online, and just to figure out if a film is worth our time. But with PR teams and curated hype and a lot more that is happening, like paid promotion, what do we really trust? And that's the big question we are addressing today. Can we really trust what we are being told? Can we really trust Bollywood reviews anymore? And to unpack this, we have Sanil Gosavi today, who's a film critic and a filmmaker who's seen both sides of the system. And he's here with us to break this topic down. Hello, Sanil. Welcome to the Famous TV.
Thank you, Lina. Thank you so much for having me. It's been a long time since I've faced the camera.
So let's just dive right in with the first question. That is, you used to do film reviews before. So, what is it? Why did you stop doing film reviews?
So there are two reasons for it. I Film reviews was always a hobby for me. I never looked at it as something as I wanted to turn into a career or something because it's not professionally something I do. I've always wanted to be a filmmaker, not a film critic. So I've always been making short films and all, and because my short films and my opinions on films on what online really got some kind of an audience, so a channel picked me up to do my reviews for them. Post that, I did it for like around 5 maybe 6 years, and after some time, like, you know what, if I have to get into the industry, I can't be pissing off producers and filmmakers. So because I was very honest, I did not have a certain kind of, like, wall in what I had to say. I just said what I feel to a friend or something, and because of that unfilteredness, I did get into trouble a couple of times. So I just decided, you know what, if I have to get into this industry, saying what you feel does not really work. So let's just kind of step away and focus on the larger goal of filmmaking, which was my original goal since I was 13. So yeah, so that's why I left it.
Talking about paid promotions and curated reviews. And since you didn't want to be a part of it, can you just tell us a little bit about what are paid promotions and why do you think producers go for it?
So I'll tell you, the industry is massively competing to get eyeballs on their films because the OTT streaming platforms and your Instagram reels, and when TikTok existed, the short content, the short format of content, it is legit taking away eyeballs from their cinemas. So they are trying to do everything that they can to get bums on seats. Like, for example, if you see the turnover of Bollywood pre-pandemic, it's gone down. You might see some films breaking higher numbers than before, but the average number of bums on seats is down. And that's because people aren't interested in, like, spending that 2.5 to 3 hours, if you include the interval time and the waiting time before the film starts, at least 3 hours in a theater when you can get the entertainment, or you can get the dopamine hit on your phone with 6 scrolls. So and it's for free, and there's no overpriced popcorn to pay for. So that's why they are paying for critics, they are paying for any good PR they can get in order to ensure that people come and watch their content. The OTT game is doing the same thing now. Now, I don't know if you know about this, but there's this new type of content that's come out. It's like the vertical format of content, where they're going to be putting up these 1 minute shows, which are like 60 episodes long. And the writers and directors are having the hardest time with this because they don't know how to deal with this. This is a very new. We never think 9 by 16 as content. We think 16 by 9, and we think, like, and we also think about content being at a certain pace. But now you're expecting me to give you a dopamine hit with a start and a cliffhanger in the end for 60 episodes. That's not how this works, but that's how desperate the content scene is becoming. So on one end there is a good surge of new talent, and at the other end there is a massive drop of good content. So this we live in this very weird paradox of content and talent right now, where both are at war with each other, where they have work and they're still out of work at the same time, and the big production houses don't know what to do. So, and in this not knowing of what's going on, they are buying reviews, they're doing this, they try to, there were a lot of OTT platforms that used to reach out to me also, that, like, take so much money and give us a good review. The money they would offer is insultingly low. Matlab, it was not even like good money. Like, I'd consider, okay, let me sell my soul for this. I could buy something. It was never, it was never high enough because you don't have budgets. So this is what they're competing for. They're competing for attention, for eyeballs, and they're competing for. That's why you see the celebrity becoming more of an influencer today. Like, when's the last time when we grew up?
Yeah.
like Shah Rukh Khan was a celebrity, is a star.
Yeah.
Do you have a Shah Rukh Khan? You don't. You know, it's you. Do you have an Amitabh Bachchan? You don't. You have legitimate influencers on who are now actors who like people like, yeah, I know him, but are they really stars? So that's what they're competing for, and they try to create something out of wherever they can spend money to create something. That's what they're doing.
Just like how influencers have started doing this whole ad promotion, like there's like a whole
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
tag. You know, do you think
yeah.
that would ever come to reviews? Because otherwise,
It came to reviews before YouTube, before Instagram, when film reviews were just in the newspaper or on
yeah.
TV. It existed since then. It's just that the prices varied, the critics were fewer, and the mode of consumption was lesser. Like, I remember very credible papers who have taken like three star. They had a rate card. 2.5 स्टार का इतना है, 3 स्टार का इतना है, 4 स्टार का इतना है. Like, you know, this, even like I don't need to. I can name this person because this person has openly said it. Karan Johar himself has openly said that they have their those graphics with all the stars ready in advance because they know who's going to give you what. And the minute those reviews go live, the graphic goes live in 1 hour after that. So it is how they churn out it is how they churn out hype around the film. But what they don't understand is that the audience is smart. The audience, you can tell the entire the audience that that this is the best film in the world, and the audience sees the trailer and they'll be like, no, we know it's not, right? Like, for example, now I can talk about a Hollywood film called Joker 2. Joker 2 had this entire article going up that there was an 11-minute standing ovation for the film,
Yes.
and everybody in the studio knew that the film was downright garbage. So whenever you see these articles come out pre-release, like there was an 11-minute standing ovation, there was this thing and all, they are mostly bullshitting. They're creating hype around something that does not exist, because the hype for Joker 2 died down the minute it was announced it was a musical. Right?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it died down, and then this entire festival hype they created around it, the Lady Gaga music angle and all they created, it just fell flat. So when Hollywood does it at a film festival level, you think Bollywood's going to stay behind at a real level? They won't. It's always
Yeah.
existed, and it will continue to exist. But that paid thing will never come, because they at least feel like if they can fool 5 people also, they've done their job. That's what it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, according to you, you believe that these reviews make a huge impact on how a film performs?
See, I've been a critic since 2014 to 2022. That's 8 years, right? I don't ever think review, and I've watched a lot of movies. Every film that has come out in those 8 years, I have seen. Every Hindi film that's come out in those 8 years. I have never seen a film review affecting the business of a movie. It may add to a negative sentiment that already exists about a film, that a person can perhaps, like, they have a preconceived notion. I don't think this film will be good. Let's see what the reviews say. Then the review comes out and it goes with their confirmation bias, then that might double or triple. But there are so many movies that have been review bombed right at the go, and those movies have done incredibly well at the box office. Kashmir Files is one of them. Uri is one of them. Kerala Story is one of them. These films were review bombed by people who did not would agree with whatever of the film, right? Did not agree with a lot of things about the film, but it clicked with audience sentiment. So I can give you multiple examples like this. That even if we talk about a Salman Khan movie, there are so many. Like, Sultan was not very well reviewed. If you look at Sultan, I had reviewed it favorably because I felt it was one of Salman's better films, but it was it was not reviewed very well by huge review houses because it did not put align with their worldview. The minute it went out of that purview, they review bombed it. It didn't make any difference. So I think reviews can kind of escalate prevailing sentiment, but they can't create sentiment. Reviews have never had that power, and they never will, regardless of what a critic says. Being a former critic, I'm saying that. Yeah.
Okay. And what do you think, as per you, is a good review? What does it entail? A good review?
I can name a good film critic, and I can tell you why he's a good film critic. Like Bharadwaj Rangan for me is a great film critic, one of the best we have in India. And what makes him a great critic is he just loves movies. He doesn't care what the movie, he doesn't care about the morals, he doesn't care about the logic, he just wants to have a good time at the cinema. And if he enjoys it, he will share it with you. There's no bias, there's no preconceived notion, there's no there's no pandering to a certain section of the audience. It's just him wanting to have fun at the movie. So I think to be a great critic and to have a good review, you need to be a fan of films first. That is number one. Secondly, you need to understand filmmaking from perhaps a largely technical viewpoint, like where you just understand, okay, what they could have done to achieve this. I'm not saying that you need to understand the details of it, but a larger overview. Okay, theek hai, here the CGI was not that great, the VFX was not that great, the editing could have been better. If you have those
Yeah.
checkpoints, then you can review a film better. So being a fan and understanding the craft is the only two things that you need to be a film critic. Anybody who says anything else, I don't think you need to be well spoken to be a critic. That's also another notion that's been created by the newspaper elite. You can have the roughest language skill out there, and I think you can be a great critic. You just have to connect with people. But eventually, you're just sharing your opinion, right? So yeah,
For a good review, one needs to have love for cinema and a
absolutely.
good understanding of what the whole process of filmmaking is.
Yeah, yeah.
Because,
Like for example, I always love a critic who can point out that this scene did not work because the writing failed out here, because the filmmaker couldn't figure this part out of the film, so he or she did this. That is great criticism. I remember Oya Akhtar on Coffee with Karan once said, where Bharadwaj Rangan only had written about a film, where he had written somewhere along the lines of, I think she thinks her dialogues in English, which she enjoys, and then literally translates them into Hindi, but it doesn't create that impact in Hindi because it's better spoken in English. Now, Zoya Akhtar has praised this criticism of a film. So, and that's what Bharadwaj Rangan did, because it came as a fan and it came from a knowledgeable person about cinema. So that's what a good critic is. He figures out that, oh, you did this could have been better. Do you know, like and the other problem also is what I feel, people just get too caught up with the morals of a movie. Like, I was watching Game of Thrones the other day. What kind of morals exist in Game of Thrones, right? So there are no morals. You just show the world that you want to show. And if it fits in your worldview, great. If it doesn't fit in your worldview, why do critics suddenly have this moral sense that, oh, I have to sit and, be the savior of society? And, I find that damn stupid. Just enjoy the movie, see what it is for. And if it works for you, great. If it doesn't work for you, also great. That's fine. But stop trying to be a torchbearer of some movement. That's
yeah,
not why you're here.
yeah.
That's not why you're here. That's what I used to try and stay away from. I hope I did that in my years.
Whole pool of reviewers. There are some
Yeah.
reviewers you would see are extremely critical, like they think like bashing a film is a better review. And there are
Yeah.
some reviewers who genuinely play safe around
Yeah.
um, the feedback about how the film is about. What do you think? Like, what are your thoughts about that? Like, one does it because negativity sells, and one does it because they just want to look good.
So it's very interesting because both these kind of reviews exist, and I have names for both, but I won't name them obviously. But the person who hates, right? Most of the times, the person hates for two reasons. For two reasons. Like, I'll tell you one thing. I also kind of fell into that trap, not as badly as these guys. But when I realized that I was roasting films that I didn't like, I was one of the first few critics who used to do the roast format before it became popular in India.
Yeah, I'm
So
aware of
yeah,
that. I've been
yeah,
following
yeah,
your
yeah,
content.
yeah. So it's become very common now, but when I was doing it, not many people were doing it at that time. So then I realized that, oh wow, the when I roast it, I'm getting more comments, I'm getting more views, I'm getting more feedback. Let's stick to it. So when a film that was good that came around, and it's a good film, now I can't trash the movie because it's good. But now if I just speak nicely about it for too long, then public's gonna be like, "Acha, theek hai, jokes kahan hai?" Right? So I started pandering to that crowd of trying to be funny when it was not needed. And then when I just kind of freed myself from that shackle, listen, I'm not going to be funny for the fuck of it. I just
Yeah.
moved away from it. Right? So there are critics who do that. There are critics who do that. But there's then other kind of critic who I find they're extortionists, where they do it in a way to kind of threaten the filmmaker that if you don't pay me, you're dead. Because
Hmm.
my audience of 2 million, 3 million, 5 million will start roasting you in your comments. It's
Yeah.
kind of like a gun they put on your head. The other
Hmm.
guys who played safe, this is a special type of breed. They want interviews with all the celebrities. They want to be in good books with all the production houses so that they know that these guys coming onto their channel and their show will increase their subscriber base and increase their views. So it's a game. Both of them play for different outcomes. One guy
Hmm.
does it to be invited to Bollywood parties, and the other guy does it to get paid from the same party but into his bank account. That's the only difference. And one person which I also was a part of for some time was to just like, boss is getting views, like I will do it, that kind
Hmm.
of a thing. And I think the celebrities also have now started to understand this because the celebrities have mentioned this in their interviews. So I do feel that, see, it's okay if we do things sometimes to pander to audiences. Like thumbnails is something that is a common thing. You put these
Hmm.
clickbaity thumbnails that everybody clicks on to see because how else do you get views?
Hmm.
But at some point, we need to reel it in and be a little honest to ourselves. And I really hope the monkey balancing critic and also the extremist critic find this middle ground that, hey, you know what, we can do this in a nice kind of approach, kind of a way. Like, I love the way they do it in the West. Like, critics have more integrity out there. Like, they also have their problems, but they have more integrity out there because if their reach is strong, like for example, what America is very hardcore about money, right? So if the reach is strong and he's trashed us, that doesn't matter. You still need to call him because him covering us will give us reach. India is not like that. India is a little more spiteful when they like, अच्छा इसने किया तो उसको blacklist कर दो, right?
Hmm.
So we need to kind of the audience, sorry, the critics need to kind of come to that middle ground a little more, so that the filmmaker is also pushed to leave his thing and come more towards the middle ground. That's my view.
So, coming to when you mentioned Karan Johar, he recently announced that Dharma is going to stop pre screenings. So, what are your thoughts on that?
I think it's a great
Yeah.
move. I think, see, I'll tell you what, I have been to one or two of those critic screenings. I've been to one or two of them. I don't think it yields in any results. वो production उसका खर्चा होता है, and they're trying to pander to this thing that they're going to give us good reviews, but they don't. They eat the free का popcorn, they go from there, and they still trash the movie. So I think it's a very nice thing that they're doing. I don't think a critic is any different from the audience just because you've got the power to write or the power to record something and say something. That doesn't give you exclusive privilege to a filmmaker's craft. Why should it, right? I think it's a good thing he stopped it, and I do believe that filmmakers in general should not take critics seriously. Me being a critic has never taken this craft very seriously. We do it just because to give a purview to the audience that this is our view, and that's it. There's a viewpoint out there in the public for the audience to know ki this is our view going around. But the kind of leverage that they get with these pre-screenings or these awards, or the kind of lobbies that these guys have formed in some production houses, it's crazy. Some are sitting on creative director posts and all that, and they've never lifted a camera in their life. It's If I was a producer, I would keep my scripts as far away from a critic as possible. Steve Jobs used to say that you should, whoever thought of the line that the customer was always right was indeed a customer. It could never be the person who creates, because the audience doesn't know what they want. You have to create it and show it to them. And when you give these reviewers some kind of pedestal to think that, oh, we are on some higher level than the rest of the audience, we have this thing, you're giving them power they've not acquired or deserved. So let them do what they do in their own this thing. Be accessible to them if they want to do interviews. Have a chat with them, of course, but don't give them special screenings. Let them buy a ticket. You'll only sell more tickets, and Bollywood needs to sell more tickets right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, yeah, like basically, then you believe that other production houses should also follow suit.
Yeah. Critics should pay for the ticket in full, and they
Hmm.
have all these things. It's not that सिर्फ फिल्म का टिकट, हम वीआईपी बैठेंगे, हम लोग को रिक्लाइनर चाहिए,
हाँ.
हम इतने बजे का शो का लेंगे. All this rubbish is there. The producer should just tell them piss off and just go watch the film on your own dime, because you are any case making money out of all the sponsorship and all the reviews you got. Why the hell should I give you a free screening? Makes no sense. Let the
Yeah.
filmmaker do his thing. Yeah.
What do you think audiences still don't know about reviewing, like film reviews? And is there something that as an audience we should look forward to in a review?
See, I think the audiences are very perceptive. I've seen this all the time. I think largely box offices of a movie are rarely ever wrong, right? I don't find them wrong. If it's gone wrong, there is a reason why things have gone wrong, or there's something that's gone off. But I think the audience is a very fair judge of what a good product or a good critic is. And I feel even though the audience may not understand nuance or nitty gritty, but I just hope, because with this new generation, the problem that I'm seeing is because of this real brain rot generation, they're looking for dopamine hits in reviews. So the reviewer is catering to that, which I would have also done if I was still a critic. But I really feel the audience, the new generation, Gen Z, Gen Alpha, they should stay away from trying to get laughs or trying to get a dopamine hit from a review, and rather than just try to largely understand whether this movie is worth my time or not. It's as simple as that. Because I think the algorithms and watch times and this entire fancy tech that we've put around broadcasting has really messed up the fabric of understanding what we actually are here for. Like, if you're seeing a review, you've not really clicked on it, might have just shown about, then you've seen it, and then that guy is not engaging you in the first 3-4 seconds, you switch away, right? That's what it is.
Yeah.
So I feel that genuineness needs to be brought back into how we put reviews out, and the audience should seek also for those kind of genuine reviewers who are genuinely interested in educating you. So follow men like Bharadwaj Rangan, follow a Tried and Refused Productions. These guys, you can follow also a Komal Nahata. These guys are great at what they do. I've always loved them. I think they're incredible critics. And yeah, they still stick to that craft, and they are the ones who are holding the are holding the review flag up high in pride. That's my view.
Well, that makes us come to the end of this interview. So, thank you so much, Sanil, for giving us your insights and your expert advice on what works, what doesn't work, and for our audiences. And thank you so much for joining Famous TV.
Thank you so much, Lina. And I really hope your audience enjoyed this. Yeah. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Bye bye.
So that was our conversation with Sanil Gosavi, a former film critic and current filmmaker, giving us a look at what really goes behind the scenes of Bollywood reviews. From how reviews are sometimes pre-decided for PR to how critics might lean into hype, access, or audience expectations, it's clear that not all reviews come from a neutral place. What we take away is this: reviews can reflect existing audience sentiment, but they rarely shape it alone. A good review is one that comes from a genuine love for cinema and a clear understanding of the craft. And as viewers, it's helpful to treat reviews as insights, not verdicts. Thank you for watching. Let us know your thoughts in the comments section. This is Lina signing off. Keep watching Famous TV for more such content.